Let's race through, and probably now you've probably got these ideas already, 12 ways to parent in the digital age. We're going through these fairly quickly. I'm pretty sure they're in your handout. Number one, remember that you are the parent, especially in the digital space. That's one we've treated from. We don't understand technology. Learn technology so you can discuss technology and be in your child's space as well. Know what your child is up to. As I said earlier, be the weird parent. It's okay to say no as well. Number two, Lisa, what's that one?
Decide together when your child needs a phone and when they need a smartphone. Because remember, we've got the dumb phones and the smartphones.
Hold off as long as possible, but you have the conversation as parents with other parents and decide when you're going to give your child a smartphone.
Be upfront. I'm not reading that, but I'm just saying, be upfront with your children's friends' parents about what you are doing, because then the kids can't use what you do. They might go, oh, so-and-so's parents said. Well, no, they didn't. So if the parents, as parents, if you're all on the same page, it really helps.
Number 3, aim for reasonable use. Come up with a tech agreement together with your child, which is a living document. It means that as your child grows and develops, that changes. And boundaries and consequences. It's interesting that my children decided if they mucked up with the tech, they lost it for 24 hours. They put the punishment in place, so I had to enforce it. And it went better for them. It worked better with Andrew than Madison. Madison is just, okay, here you are, we'll hand all over and off it'll go. But
she's our child who genuinely does not care about social media.
No.
She has never really used it. For her, it's a tool to talk to people that she can't see. So she's living in England, it's WhatsApp. And when her cousins were in the UK, it was through Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
So we'd say, give me your tech or give me your phone, and she'd come back with every item of tech.
She'd hand over every bit of tech she had just to say, well, I'm going to really make a point of this, and so I got a box full of tech
but
things.
If we suggested that she couldn't watch Packed to the Rafters or she was going to lose her extra half hour of reading privileges, that was total meltdown.
Yeah, so work out what works for each of your children and stick to it. Number 4, set tech-free zones and times, bedtimes, meal times, car travel, whatever. But I would say number 1, no tech in the bedroom. You say, doesn't happen. Bathroom, no. Meal times, whatever they are, but set those tech-free zones.
Tech in the bedrooms it's really until they're probably 16 or 17. Once they've got to that age, then, they're adults. It's a bit different and you'll negotiate. But, even if it's right, you can have your phone, you can do whatever. Hour before bed, it all then comes out. That's really important so that they're not messaging and texting each other all night. Go back.
You want to go back?
Yeah. Car travel. I think that if you're travelling between home and school, that's a really good idea for no tech.
For me, my daughter down the road when she went to work, it was a great time for discussion. I loved travelling to work with my daughter for that hour on the freeway.
Yep, and the 8 minutes or 10 minutes it took me to get to school with the kids, we had some amazing chats.
That's when you got the awkward questions.
Oh, my goodness, yes, the questions. Our daughter has no shame.
She should ask them perhaps to embarrass her older brother.
But I think for longer trips, I think that tech can be fine, but as parents, set what they can watch. Make sure they've got the videos that you want them to watch or the movies. If there's child-approved games, that's fine, a colouring app, a jigsaw app, that type of stuff. Because, look, they might have books and pencils, which are great, but honestly it saves a lot of stress and tears and mess, and we differ on this.
Yep. The 1 hour on, 2 hours off rule seems to work as well for that brain to reset. So set some how long they're on for, how long they're off for, works well. I know one pastor I was talking to said with his kids, he had 8-hour bank for the week for their gaming. And so first time they did it, they used up the 8 hours in one day and that was it for the week. Then suddenly they learnt to regulate. Oh, I've got 8 hours for the week. I can do an hour tonight, an hour tomorrow, and an hour the next night, and etc. So helping your kids to learn how to manage it for themselves, having some of those ideas in place that helps them self-manage is helpful as well.
We had a PlayStation 2 because the kids loved
It was holiday mode, mainly.
Yeah, it was the singing game that you'd had. You'd like sing and it would
Sing
tell
Star.
you. Sing Star. And then we had a Wii U. I had really...
It was mine, though.
Yeah, it was Daron's. It was not the kids.
They could borrow my gaming station.
Yeah, literally. Presented it to Daron for
I
Christmas.
think I never really used it myself.
No, Andrew was really peeved.
But it was mine. So.
But the lesson was that, okay, you've got your cousins coming over on a Saturday night. You can have a play with this. Lots of kids, we were very careful what they had. Wii U, same thing. As they got older, they actually really regulated themselves. The funny thing is neither child is a gamer, but they would have an amazing amount of fun with the cousins. They would use it a little bit during the holidays, but because they didn't use it regularly and they had lots and lots of other things to do, they very quickly self-regulated. It might be an hour or two for the first couple of days of school holidays. Then we found it went away and they found other things to do. So we gave them the opportunity to use it. We didn't make it a banned item, but we had rules around its use. And I think that helped our kids to learn to self-regulate, and it's habits they've taken into adulthood. Not a perfect parent. I admit that we came through at the very tail end of parents who smacked their kids. So, now that doesn't happen. But our kids are lucky. We're lucky. Our kids still speak to us.
Help your kids, and this is what you were talking about, balance online with offline activities, have lots of conversation around that, and make sure that that balance is in place as well.
And Daron, offline, teach your kids to sew, teach them to crochet, teach them to knit, teach them to cook, because very quickly
Which Pathfinders does well too, by the way.
Pathfinders, garden with them. So teach them that there is more than just sitting in the house in front of a screen, and do that by example.
Again, the variety, balance, moderation.
Yeah, and when Andrew got married, I remember him ringing me with a question about a sewing machine, because I gave him and Michaela an Aldi sewing machine.
And
it was
cricket?
they got cricket machines. Both kids have got them, and they use it. But Andrew's like, Mum, what stitch length should I use on the bottom of Michaela's pants? Because my daughter-in-law's 5 foot. She's just a sweetie. But Andrew took a pants up for her, and he did an awesome job. And I was like, oh, that would be a 3 on the bottom of the hem. And next thing we get a photo of Michaela wearing it, and Andrew had, cut off this much of the pants and taken beautiful.
So he's done it, not Michaela. Andrew's done it for her.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, and I know we're giving you examples, but these are the random skills that you teach as an offline skill that then come back and help your kids when they're adults.
Yep. Number 7, purchase the best technology, put it in a central place in the house, along with the docking station, lockbox for all devices. So in other words, there's time when they are down and the family's doing time together, and children gravitate to the best technology. And if that's in the lounge room, you're walking by and they come across accidental porn or other things that they're going to come across, having a conversation around that actually ameliorates the damaging effects of that, if you can have a conversation with them around the bad content they've seen online.
And for us, our son was in grade 4, and a kid came to school, don't ask me what home, Googled, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to say it, vibrators on the school computer. And Andrew came home and went, guess what? And Darren and I are like, okay. So obviously we had a conversation. He went, oh, okay. I can't even remember what we said, and then, of course, we rang the school and there was a big process. But us not reacting badly and then having this conversation that took away the damage and the fascination with it.
Number 8, model the behaviour you want to see in your children around tech usage. Now, I'm the worst as a dad, but if you want to talk to your kids with no phones in their hands, put yours down first and model what you want to see with your children.
I can leave my phone in the bedroom all day and not check it once.
Yeah, and I'm trying to ring you then, and it's why my wife's not answering her phone.
So that's our little thing. No. So Daron obviously uses his phone to monitor his hearing aids, but on Sundays I deliberately leave the phone in the bedroom and I go and do other things, because otherwise I just find myself looking at it. So even as an adult, that's what I do to manage it.
Number 9, keep the end goals in mind. Focus on the big issues: sleep, exercise, diet, good routines, including technology, is going to help your child in the long run to have those good big rocks in place.
And Daron, with those ones there, like diet. It's really important that we involve our children from the time they're toddlers with preparing food and with food choices, because we don't want them to become fixated on, having a low-calorie diet. We want them to be looking at having a normal, balanced diet with like good quality fruit and vegetables, good sources of protein. And so if we model that and get them to help actually cook it, they're more likely to eat it and to take those habits into adulthood.
Number 10, teach the value of slow. Balance their instant gratification by introducing experiences that unfold gradually. Read complete books together. Play Lego. There's someone here's a Lego. Yeah, they're right there. Watch full-length films. Work on projects requiring patience and skill. For those that know my wife, she's just purchased a spinning wheel, and she's actually spinning wool, then crocheting wool. And you didn't bring your blanket today. You normally have the blanket with you. You just finished it, I think.
I've got another project in the car.
Yeah.
So, the patience is really good. And I can tell from my kids at school with the way they react to things that take time to learn if they are actually practicing those things at home. You've got a child who you think, oh my goodness, they're never going to settle, and they'll sit down, they put their head down and they just do a task. And then when you're doing an individual education plan meeting with the parents will actually describe to you what they do with their children to actually help them to decompress, to lengthen their focus. I won't go into any details, but some of the things the parents do with their kids to develop them and ground them is amazing. I don't teach this student, but he's in year 7. Year 7, they have to make an artefact that you might find from ancient Egypt. And so Dad, with his son, they built a full-size sarcophagus. They had got a pattern, and they had actually painted a lifelike 3D, like it's flat, but they painted it so that it looked like it was a 3D mummy and sarcophagus. And I mean, what an awesome way to do something. Yeah, we knew there was...
The bonding that went into that.
The bonding. Yeah. We know there was parent involvement, but the skills that the parent was teaching the child while they completed it is just awesome.
Yeah. Number 11, help your child, we talked about this, develop a healthy media diet, balance, variety, moderation. Conversation around, is this consuming or is this creating? If they're doing creative content online, it's far better for them than consuming, playing games, etc. So look at what they're doing and have a discussion around, is this creating or consuming? How much time should be online? Have that discussion with them regularly.
So it just about sent us broke, but Andrew developed this absolute fascination with filming videos.
Yep.
He had GoPros, and you can all find his stuff on the internet. And honestly, it's very, very amateur. But that amateur stuff that came from his first year at uni, honestly, it started the skills that you can now see in what he's doing. And so I was happy, Daron and I, we were kind of happy to fund, and I think your equipment allowance too. Creative things. So I had a GoPro, and we had a couple of Canons that weren't overly expensive, and we had the Rode microphone. And you think, oh yeah, it's just a teenager. But when you see them down the track going, my church needs a promo video, and they can get in and do it, all those hours of putting into learning the skills, even if it was tech involved, it's still creating I'm losing my words here. You're still causing brain development and skill development, even if it's using tech.
Because it's creating rather than consuming.
Because it's creating rather than consuming. And a lot of the time when they're doing it, they're actually not online. A lot of bike riding got done with the GoPro on.
And number 12 is consider, and this is what even parenting books that aren't Adventists are talking about, consider tech-free nights or tech-free Sabbaths, where you turn off your phone and your devices and you have downtime. Now, pathfinders and camps help that happen anyway, but yeah, find ways to do that where you have those tech-free times and you do gaming, like board gaming, or there's really good Kickstarter games out there which are really fun. And the names are interesting, like Exploding Kittens. It's actually a good game.
Throw the burrito?
Yeah, throw burrito. It's Muffin Time is a good one.
So our daughter-in-law, Michaela, her mum and dad are Neil and Andrea Thompson. Neil and Andrea both lecture at Avondale Uni. They got us into board games and Exploding Kittens, etc. We have an amazing time.
It's interesting, the
playing
phones
games.
go down.
The phones go down. I don't really play games, but I sit there and crochet and embroider and do other things. And the other thing is jigsaw puzzles. Oh, my goodness.
Sausages.
The sequencing, critical thinking skills that you get. Who's done a wasgage? Yeah. So what is on the cover of the jigsaw box is not what is in the picture. It could be in the future. It could be in the past. It could be the next thing that's about to happen. Honestly, they have created or given us hours and hours and hours of great conversation with our kids. And even as adults, we still do 1 or 2 at Christmas time each year. So that's another thing you can... Sorry, yeah. I'm talking too much.
So with those things in line, as Joanna says, going to help our kids who are digital natives, teach them safety, strengthening real-world connections and fostering patience and offline habits. We can equip them to make the most of the digital world while staying grounded in what really matters.